What up, guys? Jason Geiman here with PressureWashHelp.com and King of Pressure Washing. And tonight I want to hit on a little bit of why. Whoa, that looked weird. What can we do? Can we do 100,000 in a year? How much can one truck, one pressure washer make us? How much can that one pressure washer make us? Now, I could go down to the fact of could I do $100,000 with just a pressure washer and a surface cleaner? And I could probably bet I could do it. And you can do it too. We don't need a soft wash system and all this stuff. Yes, it will make it easier for roofs and stuff like that, but this is what we need to do. Big Rob says, I would be happy to do that. And you're on your way there, Big Rob. If you keep pushing, you keep doing what you're doing, you keep following the process, this is how you can make your $100,000 a year. So, what do we need? And so, when I first started pressure washing, I was 2012, and it was 2012, and it was one of those years that I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. I was being a pressure washer, or I was being a fireman. We were at the firehouse, and somebody threw out the idea, I'm going to go get a pressure washer, and I'm going to start pressure washing these houses back here in Bradford, which is a subdivision of Georgetown. They're all dirty. And I thought, man, that's stupid. Who would ever want to do that? And so let's break down what do we need to get there. And the one thing that we do need is equipment. Now, don't think that we have to have the best equipment out there to make $100,000. I've seen people last year do $100,000 on crap equipment, literally the crappiest equipment you've probably ever seen. But did that stop them from making 200,000? No, it did not. Now, will a big rig like this right here that I'm going to put up here, whoop, that took my face and all out, that is a rig that made $100,000. That is a $2,000 rig that I put together, and I made over $100,000 in 1 year with that piece of crap rig right there. Now, it does look nice, but it was all used equipment. It was equipment that I had put together. I had bought used. I had traded stuff. The trailer looked like crap. I fixed the trailer up. It had a couple lawnmowers on. I put the lawnmowers and I made those all good. And, those are some things that I did to be able to do that. Now, I'm not saying you got to go out and spend $15, $20, $30,000 to start a pressure washing business. I've never said that, and I never will say that. And Greg Townsend says 100,000 this year with his eyes closed. And so this is a guy right here. I should have pulled up that picture that did $80,000 last year out of a back of a pickup truck with a 4-gallon a minute pressure washer. Started out with a 2.3 pressure washer and through all the reels and all that kind of stuff. So, and he never had a soft wash system in the very beginning. All he did was concrete and house washes, and he had grown his business to a very substantial business. He's going to do over 100,000 this year at no problem. He's probably over halfway there right now as we speak. And so why do we think that we need all this equipment to do that? Now, is it nice to have new equipment? Yes. It took me about 4 or 5 years before I ever got to this rig right here. Now, this is a nice rig. It's hot water. Again, I didn't go buying this brand new. This was a used hot water pressure washer right here. You can see the hot water on there. I bought it used for $3,500. It was used. I did have a big tank on this one because this was our commercial truck. It actually had a pressure washer on the back side of this one, and it had a soft wash system. I didn't have no fancy dancy gas bull crap, none of that stuff. I had 12 volts on this thing. And this truck made us probably $300,000 at my last year there. Why is that? Because you don't need all this brand new equipment that a lot of times people think that we need, and yes, that was a nice rig, but it took me years to get there. It wasn't my first rig right out of the door. And so those are some things that we are looking at when we're setting up our equipment. So if you don't have equipment, go rent equipment until you can make enough money to go get nice equipment. I would rather you rent equipment for a couple weekends so you can save up $2,000, $3,000 to be able to use it nice versus going buying a $200, $300, $400 of the $1,000 Lowe's pressure washer. Now, I'm not giving Lowe's pressure washer a bad thing, but you spend $1,000 on Lowe's pressure washer when you could have went just a little bit more than there. And we'll talk about this here when we're done about customers, because a lot of people want to spend a lot of money on rigs and not trying to get customers. And we can spend all the money in the world, but if we don't have customers, and I want to hit on that customer thing also a little bit later too, of how that thing is going there. So this is some things that you have to do to be able to grow your business. I see a lot of nice rigs out there. I do. I look at them. I'm on the for sale page thing, and people are selling rigs all the time because they don't have the gumption to get out there and go through things. So in 2014 came along, and my wife worked for Toyota. She worked at the headquarters here in Erlanger, Kentucky, where it was at. And she worked there, and she had been there for 12 years, 10 years. And so when Toyota decided to, hey, we're going to actually move those headquarters, and we're going to move some of you out in Texas, out in out above Dallas out there, and we're going to move the rest of you to Michigan. So Jody's spot was going to Michigan. Well, this was the time that I wasn't at 100,000 yet. I was still real close to it, but I hadn't hit that $100,000 mark. Well, this is the difference that I think a lot of people struggle with, is getting off the truck and going full-time or quitting your full-time job. And you're going from, I'm going to make this a job versus I got to make this. So when Jody quit the firehouse, or quit the Toyota, she was making, $60,000 a year, full benefits, all the goods in 2014. And Jason had started this pressure washing business 2 years earlier. And I had to support her so that she did not have to go back to work, so that way we could do it. Now, we had debt. I had lots of debt still. I was stupid with my money. I wasn't smart with it. And so I had debt. And so we knew that worst case scenario, we were going to have to cut back some things. And if we had to, we could still make her doing her thing, leaving the job at Toyota so she could stay home with my oldest and the newest kid that was on the way. So she quit her job in 2014. When she quit her job in 2014, that lit a fire under my tail, because that made me know that I had to go out there and flip those rocks. I had to go out there and do those Facebook Lives. I had to go find and flip rocks, because if you don't have that stuff under your ass of needing you to go do it, you won't do it. I was telling Jason Huffner this before we got on here today earlier of, he was in debt over their head. They couldn't get over it. They were both working, couldn't get by, debt over the head, spending their last on my training to be able to start making it. And you know what? He hasn't stopped flipping rocks. He hasn't stopped doing those 5 rounds. Every house he goes to, he don't go to a house without doing it. He don't go into businesses and say, hey, do you need pressure washing? That's all you got to say. You don't see him posting 3-4 times a week on LinkedIn. He's posting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times on Facebook. He's doing lives. You're seeing Greg Townsend on here. He's doing the same thing. He's posting on Facebook 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Why? Because it works, guys. This is what you have to do. You have to shake that freaking tree till it don't drop no more. And then you shake it some more, and you allow that stuff to come down even more. Because if you just sit out there and you put out 5 little signs, or if you put out 100 signs and say, well, that didn't work. Jason, that didn't work, Jason. Jason, that didn't work. Well, go put out another 200 or 300 signs, and then tell me if it don't work. Go put out another 1,000 door hangers. Then tell me if it works. Go out there and shake every tree, every bush. Go do Facebook Lives. But Jason, I can't do Facebook Lives. Have you seen me? I suck. Yeah, I suck too. But I did them. Because you know why I did them? Because I wanted my wife to be able to stay home and support my kids and homeschool my kids and be in my kids' life versus allowing somebody else to teach my kids and do everything else with them and teach them all the crap that I don't want them to learn. So that was my choice. And when I made that choice, I knew I had to shake every tree. I knew I had to do Facebook Lives. I know that I had to do blog posts. I knew that I had to do LinkedIn. I knew that I had to do email marketing. And, I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't know anything at the time. If this was 2014, I had started learning it. I'd already spent about $4,000 on a website and SEO that did absolutely jack squat. Absolutely jack squat. And so what did I do? I got off my tail and I went to Chicago and I did an SEO class. I flew out to San Francisco and I did more marketing classes. Why? Because I knew that it was either me spend money somewhere else and maybe it works, or me spending my betting money on me, and that's what works. Now, I give the processes of what you need to do. In my 26 steps to the house wash, there's a lot of processes in there that all have to do with marketing. It's not all about the house wash. A lot of times, and I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of the same stuff. A lot of times we get into, oh my God, we gotta make this house look amazing, and we just got to take our time here, and it's just got to look amazing. Well, I want to tell you something. You're already getting paid for that house. We got to worry about next week's house, 2 weeks down the house there. And why is that? Because those are the houses we got to think about. When I say we take pictures of our house and we take all four sides and we take dirty pictures of that, I'm not saying that just to cover my butt if I screw up something. I'm taking all these pictures because you never know what that one picture could be worth $100,000. You don't know which one it is. You put a before and after and you don't know. But if you don't take your before and after pictures, you don't have $100,000 picture. You have a goose egg picture. And so this is the importance of why we are doing the things I say. I preach the Google reviews. You got to get Google review, guys. If you're not working on your Google reviews, you're just pissing in the wind almost. And so, Jason, this is one thing I told Jason to work on hard is his Google reviews. He's 5 or 6 away from 100. And you know what? When he started last year, when I told him to start working on the 5-star reviews, 100 looked like a mountaintop. It looked so far up, you couldn't see it. But he's only 5 or 6 reviews away from 100. People in his area think he's huge now. He's a one-man band. That's what you can do. It's one machine. Last year, he did over $140,000 in Florida. Because God forbid nobody can make money in Florida because there's too much competition in Florida. Well, I can tell you several people that make a lot of money in Florida. So that is number one thing, equipment. Don't forget. So if you want to build your own equipment, you're going to save a lot of money. If you want to have somebody build it, you're probably looking at about $10,000 to $20,000 is where you're going to be at. So, what type of jobs are good for beginners? Well, if you buy a pressure washer and a surface cleaner, you can do house washing, you can do deck cleaning, you can do driveway cleaning, you can do just about anything except roof cleaning. So why do I say that? Because when I say that, this is what happens. You can do all the basics. Now, does roof cleaning help to raise our average ticket? Why, yes, it does. It helps tremendously to raise our average ticket. Now, does that mean you're going to get 10 roof jobs a week? No, it's going to take time. Some areas don't know nothing about roof cleaning. There's areas in this country and they could have the darkest, blackest roofs, but if they're not educated about roof cleaning. So what do you got to do? You got to educate. You got to show it. You got to do videos of it. You got to do things to show that you can clean your roof. And this is where you're putting those videos in the Facebook groups, and God, not the pressure washing groups. Get the hell out of the pressure washing groups. If you're asking me how to get business and then you're in more than 3 pressure washing groups, I'm going to tell you right now, you're probably not going to, you're going to have a hard time struggling to work, because every time you pull up your page, it's stupid pressure washing groups. And so when you're looking at these stupid pressure washing groups versus looking at your neighborhood groups, your mom groups, your for sale groups, your yard sale groups, and we're talking in those groups, guess what? People will like you and know you, and then they will trust you, and then they will buy from you. This is how you do it. This is what you got to do. I see a lot of guys in 3, 4, and gosh, they will post in all these pressure washing groups. But heaven forbid that they will post in their neighborhood groups. I see my competition. I got competition that I'm actually going to go do a ride along. I don't have competition anymore. He was competition a while ago. I'm going to go do a ride along tomorrow to do a TPO roof. Benjamin Gregory. He was one of my competitors. But you want to know what he does? Yeah, he's been posting in some of the Facebook groups, but he posts in almost every neighborhood group around here at least once or twice a week. At least once or twice a week. And I'm talking probably 20 or 30 groups. You know what else he posts? He posts on LinkedIn. He's connecting on LinkedIn. He's communicating on LinkedIn. And you know what happens when you communicate on LinkedIn? You get this big TPO job that we're doing, roof cleaning, because of it. You wouldn't have got that job if he was just sitting in them Facebook groups and pressure washing and just talking away about pissing of who's got the biggest rig. Because at the end of the day, we all know whoever's got the biggest rig makes the most money and has the most profit. And if you believe that one, you need some more drugs, because that's not the case. So, what type of jobs are good for beginners? Again, driveways. We can do driveways all day long. We can do house washing. All we need is a downstream injector, a 5-gallon bucket, and a couple gallons of bleach, and we are ready to rock and roll. Pool shock, and you are golden. I did pool shock, even in that big rig I had, for a while with 5-gallon buckets. I put my 5-gallon buckets, put 2 gallons of water, 3 gallons of bleach, and I downstreamed it. That's what I did. And you know what? That made me over $100,000. I made a lot of money before I ever went to being to do that. TPO is, I don't know what it stands for, but it's the white roofing on top of buildings. I'm sure it stands for something, but I don't know what it stands for. I just know it's called TPO. So, those are some things that you can do to make money. So, how do we do that? We go out there, and if you don't, first thing we want to do, let's talk a little bit about marketing. First thing we want to do is get our Google My Business set up right out of the get-go. That's your first thing. Before your website. You can do your website because that makes it will you will need to do that. But if you don't have a website, you can still do your Google My Business. Your Google My Business is so important. It is probably one of the most important at all times. So what do? We go out there, get our Google My Business. We get it verified. We fill out the description. We fill out everything we can. We start putting pictures in there. And we want to get to 100 pictures or more. After that, next thing we're going to do is if we thermoplastic polyurethane roofing. See, I knew somebody would tell me. But next thing we're going to do is we're going to get into Facebook groups. And no, not the pressure washing groups. We're going to get into the mom groups, the dad groups, all of those groups. The next thing after that, we're going to just do it on our regular Facebook page. We're going to do it on our personal page. You might have a network of 100 or 200 friends. You might have an aunt out there. You might have an uncle out there. You might have a grandma out there that needs their house washed, or their friends need their house washed. When we get their house washed, next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a lot of pictures. And even if it's not dirty, because you know what? We don't want just dirty houses. Most of my customers that I want have clean houses. Why? Because they clean them every year, every 2 years. And they don't get all dirty and nasty like some of them because they haven't cleaned their house in 10 years. So that's probably not my customer. Now, them are some nice customers because they give us great before and after pictures, but that's not our customer. If you look at a lot of guys' websites, if you go out there and you start searching websites that are like professionally done, you will see they don't have nasty, dirty before and after pictures. You know why they don't have nasty, dirty before and after pictures? Because that's not their customer. They want the clean houses. It'll have, most of them have that one house that has the yellow. It's kind of like a real nice house and stuff. That's the house we want to show. So that is what we want to show there. How much can one pressure washer make in a year? You can, with one pressure washer, with a soft wash system, if you want to go that route, can do $200,000 a year by yourself. You can do it. Is it work? Yes. Are you doing are you doing Facebook Lives at every job? Yes. Are you posting on LinkedIn 2-3 times a week? Yes. Are you posting in all the Facebook groups? Yes. Not the pressure washing ones, though. No. Are you writing content once a week, once a month? Yes. Are you putting your photos and naming them in Google My Business? Yes. Are you writing Google posts 2, 3, 4 times a week? Yes. Are we adding pictures and are we trying to get reviews in our Google My Business? Yes. Now, that's how we get there. It isn't, and it's not easy. I'll admit it's not going to be easy. There's going to be times that you're going to be like, this is the stupidest thing ever. And there's going to be times that it is 950 degrees out there and you're out there pressure washing and you're about ready to fall over because it is so hot. I've been there. I've done that. It's probably going to be me tomorrow on top of a roof that has has whiskey fungus on top of it. So it is black as black can be. But you know what? It'll be white as white can be when we're done cleaning it. And so that is what it is. Sometimes pressure washing is mailbox money. Commercial jobs like to pay checks. Every time you open that mailbox, you have a nice little surprise in there. So next thing I want to hit on is how do we get there? What do we need to do to get to $100,000? What are the steps we need to be able to do it? So most places you can't work more than 9 months out of the year. Our Florida and our Southern guys can work 12 months out of the year. So they're a little bit different. But I'm going to break this down to making $100,000 in just 9 months. Now, I wrote it down over here, so I make sure that I got my numbers right. What does that come out to? So 9 months, that's $11,000 a month. So we need to do $11,000 a month. How do we get to $11,000 a month? Well, first thing we need to do is set goals. And when we set goals, this is things that, when you set goals and you write them down and you tell somebody, there's a pretty damn good chance that you will hit that goal. But if you don't set goals and you don't write them down and you don't tell anybody, there's a pretty good chance that you will never hit that goal. So first thing I want to hit on is you got to set goals. Set goals, tell people and do that. That's why in my membership, I have a section that I want you to write down your goals. Because when you write your goals down and you tell somebody, guess what? There's a pretty good chance you're going to hit that goal. And so, yes, it's nice to hit a $100,000 goal, but what do we need to do to be able to break that goal down into smaller, obtainable goals? So that way we can say, yes, we hit 2 jobs doing $550, and that is on my way to hit $100,000. But if we don't ever set those goals, it does us no good. It's it's very much about mindset. Sometimes it's harder to convince yourself you can do it, but you have to convince that it is possible. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of naysayers and people that want you to fail. That's just the way it is. That is 100% the way it is. People want you to fail. So, $900, 9 months, $11,000. So that means we got to do $2,700.50 every week. $2,750 every week. Now, that don't sound so bad now, does it? That sounds a lot better than $11,000 a month or $100,000 a year. So we only got to do $2,750. So on a 5-day work week, I'm not even giving Sundays and Saturdays. That means we got to do $550 a day. So again, we break that down, $550 a day. So what does that mean? That means we got to do that. So how many jobs does it take me? And this is the importance of the next thing, why we want to add packages. So when I went to quit, my wife went to quit her job at Toyota, I started using Responsibid. I'd used Responsibid in before, but I never filled it all out. I never used the way I should have been using it. In fact, I was one of the first ones using Responsibid. I was on the free plan for a while, and the free plan was basically the quoting and everything except the emails. So then I upgraded to the emails, and when I did that, and I started putting the emails in place and starting giving packages, my average ticket went up. And guess what else went up? My money that I'm bringing in went up. And so these are some things that we did. So why is that important? Because if you are at $200 average ticket, it's going to take you 55 jobs to be able to hit $11,000 in a month. But if I can get my average ticket up to $400, it's only going to take me 27 jobs to hit that $11,000. Now think about that. 27 jobs at $1,100. So if we work 20 days, in that month, there's only 7 days that we got to add, get our average up higher than that. Every other day we could just do $400 and we're fine. So that is the purpose of getting our average ticket up to that $400. Then that way it adds it down and breaks it down even more. So that is the importance of why we want to raise our average ticket. We want to get our ticket as high as we can. We have to raise our prices. So every Monday in my membership, I do marketing. So every other Monday is in the morning and every other is in the afternoon. So tomorrow's marketing Monday will be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It's usually 30 minutes in the morning. In the afternoons, I've let it go a little bit longer than that. Last time it was on Monday night, it went an hour long. But I try to make them 30 minutes long of that. And what I do is I teach on a subject, 15 minutes, and then I have 15 minutes questions. And what I do is each month, it'll be a new topic. So the month of July, I'm talking all about Google My Business. But the first one I did about Facebook. And so to practice what I preach, Jason hates Facebook. I literally hate Facebook. I don't like Facebook. I probably shouldn't say this too loud because Facebook's listening to me, but I don't like posting on Facebook. That's just not me. I don't like posting on Facebook. So what I did is I started practicing what I preach. So I started posting once, at least once a day on Facebook. And you would not believe what happens. So, do I say, hey, Jason, hey, come join my membership, come join my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff? That's not what I did. That's not what I did. What if people know who, if people are on my Facebook, then you know what I've done. What I've done is I've been asking questions. I've been asking business questions. And I'm get one of my business questions, I got over 100 comments on it and like 30 or 40 likes on it. It isn't nothing special. I just did it. I just started doing that. So that is the importance of what happens. And you know what else happened? And I know what happened because I did this. So I've been doing this for about 2 weeks of the posting on Facebook. So tonight I posted on Facebook that I was going live at 9 o'clock. And you know what happened? When I went live here tonight on YouTube, I had like 60 people right out of the get go, right out of the gate. Why do you think that has? Because I've been priming the algorithm in Facebook, so it's putting my stuff in front of all these people that have commented on my stuff. So that is the importance of not just saying, I'm a pressure washer. Yes, I am. You need to use my services because I'm the best pressure washer and I'm the only pressure washer. And Facebook ain't going to show you crap. But when you start engaging with people and you start getting things to engage, Facebook will start showing your stuff. Facebook wants, you know what Facebook wants? Facebook wants people on Facebook longer. That's what Facebook wants. They don't want you to go out to another place. Facebook wants Facebook. So these are the things you got to do and keep it going. All right. How long I've been doing? 30 minutes. I may scroll up here a little bit. I've seen some questions coming. Um, Sometimes pressure washing is a mailbox. I hit that one. What should we use on tiger striping on gutters and how to charge? A lot. First off, gutter. You're talking about the tiger stripes. A lot of times the bleach will get a lot of it off. There at the end of my business, I didn't even upsell gutter cleaning because it sucked and my employees did a crappy job at it. But what should you use? You're going to use gutter grenade, gutter butter. You can use LA Awesome. Lots of different things you can use to get it off. You do have to brush it. It's all about getting the chemical on the gutter, doing a little bit of agitation, and rinsing it off. I always charged $150 to $200 because it's a great arm workout and it sucks, and maybe even more. I find it hard to do my business because of my day job. I'm a manager and I'm super short staffed because of lazy people not wanting to work. And this is where I think the difference between people, uh, this is a hard spot. This is one of those that, yes, it's going to pay your bills and all of that kind of thing. And you got to really try to get your business going and get that leap of really trying to hit and get it going. This is where I see a lot of people fail, where they try to do two different businesses. Some people send me all the businesses that are going out of business. And most of the stories behind people going out of businesses is they have another full-time job and they didn't take this job serious enough. They didn't go out there and flip rocks. They didn't go out there and follow the process. If you don't follow the process and follow it to the T, you're going to fail. That's just pretty much what it is. You're going to fail. And there is processes, there's systems, whatever you want to call it, to make sure that you don't fail. Is it hard? Yes, it's hard, but it can be done, and it is what you got to do. What do you think about door to door? I think that it's a great way to lose weight and walk. I do like the door to door on my 5 rounds or 10 rounds if you're not busy, but that's about all I would do. Um, when we're doing door to door, it's not about putting out 100 door to door. It's not about putting out 500 door to door or door hangers. It's not. It's we're talking 5, 10,000 door hangers to know what's working and what's not working. And it's not about putting out 5, 10,000 door hangers on 5, 10,000 different customers. It's about putting out 5 to 10,000 door hangers 2 to 3 times or every 3 to 4 weeks, because door to door door hangers are just like EDDM. It's not about sending out 10,000 to 10,000 different homes. It's about sending out 3,333 door hangers 3 different times to that customer. That's what it's about. I use heavy SH to get out of here. Love to watch the containment melt. 3-story roof in Sarasota Thursday and Friday week ago. Hot. I'd say it was. Any advice on upselling pavement sealing or staining? I don't know about pavement sealing, but paver sealing, yes. Um, because I know a lot of people. I had a guy do pavement, actually blacktop, where they put the oil down and they didn't pay worth a crap. How much SH per home? Probably like 5 to 6 gallons per house. It's very much about mindset. Sometimes it's hard to convince yourself you can do it, but you have to convince that possible. And this is how a lot of people, this is a good way to do this. Get away from negative people. Get around positive people. Listen to positive stuff. Go. YouTube has a lot of motivational speakers and stuff like that. Look that kind of stuff up. Go look at people that have done it. Jeff Bezos from Amazon, Apple. Go find these people and listen to their stories. Their stories was just as hard as yours or more. It wasn't easy for anybody. Jason actually sent me things saying that Jeff Bezos, that dude of Amazon, he was hoping to make enough money to buy a forklift. And then he wanted to make enough money that he could actually use that forklift. Do you think if he would have quit then, what would have happened? What would have happened if he quit and gave up on that forklift? Do you think Amazon would be what it is? No, it wouldn't. And so you got to keep moving. You got to keep going step in front of step. So the one thing I'm going to tell you is never quit learning. Don't just learn about pressure washing. Don't just learn about marketing. Don't just learn about sales. We got to learn about it all, but we also got to look at what and we don't need to know everything, but we should know enough to be able to do it. So right now, I read books. I still read books. And I never liked to read books, but now I love to read books. And I'm reading a great book right now. It's called Never Split the Difference by Chris Ross or Chris Boss. And it's a great book. It's a book about an FBI dude, about negotiations and how to sell. Guess what? It's an amazing book. I would highly recommend you to read it. And I've talked about it. I didn't even know it came from this book. But when I always say when you give a price, the next person loses, that come from this book. Never Split the Difference. I would highly recommend you to read it. Great book. And it's all about negotiation, how to deal with customers. When they're talking and they're saying it's too expensive, you copy them back and you throw it right back in their floorboard. And then they're like, "Oh, what do you mean?" Or we tell them right up front it's expensive, because when we tell them up front it's expensive, then they don't have no defense to say it's expensive because I already used that, buddy. So it's a great book. I would highly recommend you to read it. I'm on chapter 3 right now, and so far it's been a great book. Whether you believe you can or you cannot, you are correct. 7 goals. Because if you don't believe you can do it, there's probably a good chance you're not going to do it. If you don't believe you can make $100,000 pressure washing, you're probably never going to do it. But if you believe it and you write it down and you tell somebody, there's like a 75% chance of you doing it. So set them goals and don't just set one big one. Set small goals that you can do it. What do you all do to hit 3 stories? 12-volt system doesn't seem to hit that high. I use a pressure washer. That's why I use a downstream injector. 4-gallon machine hits 3 stories. Yep, that's why we use pressure washer with a downstreamer. What about 4 stories? You're going to have to either use a lift or do something else then. What should I use to remove tiger stripes on gutters and how much I charge? I hit on that one already. Waiting on my first $4,000 quote to be accepted. Well, don't just wait on it. Have you followed up on it? Have you called them? Have you texted them? Have you emailed them? Have you followed up with them? Have you followed up to see what might be holding it up? Don't just give a quote and do nothing. Because if you're not following up, you're going to fold up. And it's not just following up one time. It's 5, 6, 7, 10 times within a 30-day period. We want to hammer down. In my email sequence and phone sequence, we touch that customer 7 times within the first 14 days. 7 times. Day 1, we sent the email. Day 2, we called them to make sure they got the email and make sure they got the quote and when they wanted to try to schedule them. Day 3, we sent a text. Day 4, we sent another email. Day 7, I don't remember. Day 7 was something. Day 14 was one that I loved. It basically said, hey, I know you're probably looking for other contractors to give you a quote, but it's been 2 weeks. Probably a good chance you're not going to get that quote. Here's my quote. So those are some things that you can do. Follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. That's why I use Responsibid. PressureWashHelp.com/Responsibid. I would highly recommend you to use it if you need something to follow up. There's a link in the description about it. Mount your soft wash tip onto a 20-foot extension pole with a spare trigger and some electrical tape. I've done this. That works. This is how we can get up to 4 stories. I've done a big building that was 5 stories, all from the ground, with my water-fed pole that I tied. I used air hose to run up to the top, change my tips in and out, and that's what I did. My first quote is $20,000 hospital. Follow up, follow up, follow up. I shot a 150-yard old slate roof from ground with no ladders and extension pole. We were there for 2 hours. Got paid and went home. I started in May. Average tickets are tough. $1,200 job when a $200 job on the same drags average down. But we'll keep chipping away at it. I need your help on GMB to set up for the first time. What's the cost? I'm actually looking at doing marketing for people in their GMBs. I'll probably do a one-time setup fee, or I'll do a monthly, and that'll be with pictures and citations and all the other great things that go with Google My Business. But yes, you can do it for free if you're willing to do it. Good evening, Jason, and everyone in the pressure washing community. Hi, Ace. A customer called me about a commercial job cleaning the back of a restaurant, concrete and dumpster pad, but no water spigot. Any advice how I can pass this on to a different company? I would be seeing if there's a water spigot somewhere on that building, or if there's a place that you can use it, even if it's on the front of the building. Great day. It's another Sunday, and blessed day it is. Tomorrow, pool power washing in the morning. Facebook at 3 minutes at a time. Jason, how should I apply Cleanse All BC? Should I use the same drops tube I use for SH? Yes, you should. Unless it's permanently mounted in your tank. Then you'll have to get another one. Restaurants always has water, yes. I saved so much money this year not dipping brushes for gutter brightening. It became a huge upsell for pennies on the dollar. Are you just spraying your brush? That's what I've done. Take the pump up sprayer and spray it. Restaurants have water at the back door, maybe inside, just ask. Um, Good degreaser. There's anything with sodium hydroxide. You can use um, WD-25 from Russ is a good one. Um, the Assassin is any of those pressure washing stores has degreaser. I've used Purple Power. I've used Zep. I've used all them too, and some of those work just as good. Why do restaurants require you to have insurance on business to do dumpster pads? Because there's cars around, there's buildings around, there's electric around, a lot of different things. They don't want you fall and get hurt, don't want to get sued, all of that kind of stuff. Um, LA awesome, George. What about postcards? Again, postcards are kind of like door hangers. We got to do lots of them, and we got to know when to send them out. And we got to send out 3 to 4 times every 4 weeks, every 4 to 6 weeks. Promotions for your local business is a great idea on Facebook. 5 businesses already booked. Should I pull up on prospects with trailer in tow when doing my marketing? You can. But most people don't give 2 rats. New pressure wash sealer off brick. Ugh. New pressure wash sealer off brick. You probably got to figure out what type of sealer it is, and then you're probably going to have to figure out the stripper that'll get it, pull it. I started down the path, studying millionaires. That's a good thing to do right here. You'll figure out that they put their pants on the same way. They think a little different, but there's nothing special about them. I got the jobs because I answered the phone. And I'm going to hit one thing. That's a good thing to do too. And Warren Buffett actually says that he won't help you unless you failed with 3 businesses. Completely failed 3 businesses. You know why that is? Because that means you learned something in those 3 failed businesses, and you didn't give up, and you did another business, and you failed that business, and then you do another business. So that's why Warren Buffett won't help anybody unless they've done failed 3 businesses. So think about that. And if you think about most millionaires, they've all failed several times, but they don't give up. And most of these millionaires, they lose every freaking thing. They lost everything 2 or 3 times, and they just do it again and figure it out. Always study psychology, human behavior, body language. That's one thing in that book talks about. Never split the difference. Amen. One of my first lines in person after reading the person, I'm going to be upfront, is going to be more expensive than you might think, and probably more expensive than other guys. And that's part of this book. I'm actually in that chapter where he's talking about saying that you're labeling the customer and you're knocking down the pain points. It's something about the pain points. The chapter is about pain points. And basically, you just slay that sucker right out in the beginning, and then they don't have nowhere to go at that point. It's best to do door-to-door knocking when you're already working in the neighborhood. I like to door knock and let everyone know I'm cleaning today and the day only, and you get 30 or even 50% off. I wouldn't give that much off. You're losing money at that point. Hi, Jason. Quick question. What's the mix if I mix 4-gallon backpack pump for a roof on a shed? Well, first off, I would highly suggest you not use a backpack sprayer because if it leaks, you get 3rd-degree burns, and it's a nasty thing to do. So if you're going to use a pump-up sprayer, it's fine, but I wouldn't put it on your backpack. That can be very dangerous and no good for you. But if you're going to use 4 gallons, I'd do 2 gallons water and 2 gallons of 10 or 12% SH. I believe my business would hit $100,000 this year. We are now on track to hit that by the end of next month, and we will be shooting for $150,000. Yep, And I got a lot of video of that guy right there, and I just pulled the card out of my GoPro. I just got a $7,000 for a church accept its first commercial. Awesome, man, yo. I sent it on Friday. So I would follow up this week, Renee. 1 million a year pressure washing is a long-term goal for me. Do you think that's possible? I absolutely 100% believe that you can do $1 million. 100%. If you get your systems in place, and you get your, not just systems for pressure washing, you got to get your systems ready in marketing. You got to get your systems in sales. You got to get your systems in all the finances and all of that kind of stuff. And you got to know what your numbers are, and where's your money coming in, where's your money going out, what you're spending on, all of that good stuff. Waiting on a quote for $3,400. Trevor from Australia. He's crossed the pond. Hey, mate. For a shed roof, use 10%, cut it 50-50 with water, pump up sprayer, gives you about 5% mix. If your mix is accurate, it works great. 100% true. Welcome, Trevor. Hey, Ozzy. What about hose management? Rolling up 200 feet really stinks. It's called, you're right, hose management is very important. It's called hose reels. Hose reels will really make a big difference. If you don't have hose reels, I would highly recommend you to get hose reels. Hose reels are definitely something that will help you make a lot of difference. That will cut off 10 to 15 minutes per job, just having hose reels. And not even if it goes through the hose reel, even if you disconnect and you have a quick connect somewhere on there, that can help you there. Hey, all, to you guys in the U.S. Again, I'm going to hit this real quick. If you, I'm having an in-person training where you actually get to touch this stuff and you can spray water and do it. This is not a class where Jason shows you and you can do that. I can show you that you can go to pressurewashhelp.com/free and get 30 days free, and I can do a video and show you if you want to watch. This is a hands-on class that I put on. This is you pressure wash. So the way it works is I show you on PowerPoint, and then I show you in person, and then you get to take your little hands and you get to pressure wash. So this is the in-person trainings that I do. I am the only one that does it this way. Nobody else does it this way. Everybody else just says, this is how you pressure wash. Well, if that's the way you're gonna do it, you might as well take my free class. So in my in-person class, it is a hands-on, you get to touch the pressure washer, you get to use the chemicals. I don't even clean the house. You clean the house. So that is in my in-person training. You can go check that out at pressurewashhelp.com/in-person training. And if you want to go check out my new website that I kind of revamped, it's at pressurewashhelp.com. I'm going to start adding a lot of content on it. I'm going to start practicing what I preach, and I'm going to start adding a ton of content on it. And so it'll have a lot of different things that you ask, I answer type content is what it's going to be. So that's what it is, and that's what I'm doing. But again, go check out pressurewashhelp.com/in-person training. I'm having a pressure washing class one day, and the next day I'm having a Christmas light class. Christmas lights, you can make way more money than you will, or make pressure washing just about. And it's a great thing you can do to make lots of money doing both of those. Again, this is how I grew my business to $1 million. Yes, I did $1 million between pressure washing and Christmas lights. So that's why I'm doing it. This class will be in Connecticut, and then I will be having some more come in the fall, but they will be down in Raleigh. For roof washing, I went to Gerald's training class, SH and water only, no soap, wet the roof, don't soak it. I would disagree with that. You can use surfactant, and you don't have to wet the roof. In fact, if you wet the roof, it's got a better chance of leaving black streaks on it. I don't think people take my business serious. I need a big jacked up truck and giant trailer. Or you can have your little thing going around. Zep Purple has sodium hydroxide. I don't know if it does or not, but it works. Just recently got the word of doing some good training so I can clean the hoods for restaurants in Knoxville area. Classes are $2 grand, but there's very low competition. Things it's a good niche. You would be surprised how much competition is in hood cleaning. And hood cleaning, you're doing it for $300 to $500, $600, and it is nasty. I'm not saying you can't do the niche. It is definitely a niche to get into, but it is nasty. Never want to cross contaminate. Jason Hefner, they don't take mine serious either, but the bank still takes my money. Takes their money. That's because the way you look, Greg. You look scary. Just started. I'm trying to go full time. Any recommendations? Just get out there and push as hard as you can. Don't turn every rock, flip every stone you can. Don't you know? Don't be. There's things in our life that are time sucks, and if we use these things in our time that are time sucks, that means we're not growing our business. And what do I mean by time suck? This right here can be the biggest time suck you ever have right here. So what are some things we can do? First thing I would tell you to do is go through and turn off all your notifications. Because every time you take a notification and you get a notification of a game or a notification of Facebook or any of that stuff, then you're not paying attention. And so when we do that, that is the very first thing. Most times, what people struggle with is time management because you can go down rabbit holes in time management. Well, you will get in time sucks. You'll get on TikTok, you'll get on Facebook and spend hours, and you're not working in your business. You're not working on your business. You're doing everything except your business. So when you're at this point, you have to go full board on your business. You need to get on everything you're thinking about is in your business. And so we're posting everywhere. We're figuring out learning how to post more. We're doing everything we need to do to get that. Them are some things that you got to do. Outwork everyone around you, Ruben. There is no magic pill. Basically, what I just said. Get rid of the time sucks. And if it's a bad enough time suck, get rid of the whole app. And if you got to do your Facebook on your computer so you don't go down them rabbit holes, that's what you got to do. You know, time sucks are not good for you. The most important thing you can have $1,000,000 today, lose it tomorrow, get it back the next day, but you'll never get that time back. Think about that. Actually, I just seen the thing. If you had two people, one person that's poor and one person that made $1,000,000, and the person that made $1,000,000 lost everything, and the poor person, he didn't have much to lose, but you gave them both $35,000. What do you think would happen? The poor person would spend that $35,000 and have nothing. The millionaire would spend that $35,000 and get back to $1,000,000 because that's what you do. You know how to do business. Hey, Jason, not pressure washing related, but will you be doing Christmas Light live soon? I need to. I'm going to have to. I don't want to. No, I will. I got to get back on that channel. I haven't been on that channel at all. So I would like to. The problem with it is I go from 100 people on this channel watching me to 10, 20 people on my Christmas Light Live. So I kind of get petered out about it. What should I do with the runoff if I go back off the restaurant cleaning job in the back? It's just a big parking lot. You'll be fine with it. Time is the most important thing you have here. You could have $1,000,000. Yes. Time with your family, time with all of that stuff is the most important thing you can have. Jason, do you use soap on your driveways and house washing or S8? I do use soap. Use a backpack sprayer for paver sealer once, never again. I'll never forget feeling sticky back here. I'll finish this month at a little bit over 15,000 in washing and 23,000 in Christmas lights sold. Have two more light estimates out and totaling 9,000 and another to perform on Wednesday. Christmas lights is very, very profitable. If you go to pressurewashhelp.com/in-person training, you can learn. That's where we teach the Christmas lights. Donovan's going to be there. He did 250,000 last year. Fred Zimmerman's going to be there. He made over he put in his pocket over $150,000 profit in his pocket. And right now he's doing one for Hallmark for the movies. So he has been in the business for 10, 12 years, and definitely a thing. So go check out Pressure Wash. It is in Connecticut, so it is up north, so up in that area. Electric hose reels are really nice. Jason, I just moved my business to North Carolina. What would be your suggestion on starting in a new market with no customer base? Google my business. Get your website up. If you have money, spend money in AdWords, and then you're just going to have to get in Facebook groups and LinkedIn and all of those great things. How many helping you do Christmas lights? Last year he did it pretty much by himself and one helper, I believe. Don't use a backup pack sprayer is what I'm going to say. Lee, is it a PVC fence? Use house wash mix 3%. Yep, works good. So far, hiring 2 or 3 more. I missed that part. What's the name of the book? It is Never Split the Difference. Never Split the Difference. I'm trying to get through some of these questions so I can get off here. SH works on wood, but it is obviously bleach it. If it's painted, I wouldn't do it straight wood. I use just house wash mix. Thanks for sharing your valuable time and experience. Signing off now. I've been a painter for 30 years and switching to pressure washing because of a bad knee. So I'm about to buy and build a setup for soft and pressure wash. I washed houses for years before painting. You'll be a lot more profitable doing that. Just make sure that you get it set up correctly and all of that good stuff. And if anybody wants a beautiful, beautiful rig, I have one for sale. I have this beautiful rig here for sale. Bam! Look at that baby. That's just got a pressure washer, 8 gallon a minute, gas tank. I think it's 6 or 7. It's a 7 gallon. Got 2 hose reel, water tank, soap tank. Look at this bad mama jama for sale. I'll sell it right now. It go in the back of your pickup truck. Hold on here. Let me go. This is me building it. This was before I put all the top on it. You can go find, it'll fit in a short bed pickup truck. This thing works amazing. You can see here where I got some more of it. Look at this thing. You need this thing. This will make you $100,000. It would make you $100,000 sitting right there as it is. Now, I know I preach that you don't need brand new equipment, but I'm just showing you because I have built this thing and I need to get rid of it. And I am looking to sell it. It is put together. Again, it is made with 1/4-inch aluminum, everything, so it will sit there in the back of your pickup truck. It has 150 feet of garden hose, has 150 feet of water, an 8 gallon a minute machine, a water tank 50 gallons, and a bleach tank 50 gallons. And if you want a soft wash system, I will install the soft wash system for probably whatever the cost of materials. I'll have to buy a pump and a electric hose reel. If you wanted a gas pump on there, I can do that too, but obviously that's going to make more price. So with that, if you want a nice, awesome thing, I'm asking, as it sits right now with no soft wash, $13,000. If you want me to build a soft wash, I'll charge you whatever the parts are, whatever it costs to add. So if you want just a 12 volt, it'll be a hose reel, the mixer valve, that's probably close to $1,000 or a little bit more. So you're about $14,000. It is an 8 gallon minute. It's got the bypass on it. It comes with everything you need to have a beautiful rig. Again, it is a 1/4-inch aluminum, everything. That is the skid that comes from powerwash.com is where I bought that skid from. It's a $3,000 skid, aluminum skid. It is tough. It's heavy in itself. But if you built this thing out of steel, it would be way heavier than that. It is in the Cincinnati area. I will be going to the Huge. So if anybody wants to meet me, it does have the Job valve in it. If I will be going to the Huge, so if anybody wants to buy on the way to the Huge, I can haul it. Or if anybody buys it on the way to Connecticut, I will be driving to Connecticut on August 5th. So if you are in the path of August 5th to Connecticut, I could meet you somewhere along that way there too. So those are what I have. And that is what I have there. So you can either message me on Facebook if you are friends with me on Facebook, or you can leave a comment down here with your email or phone. Well, not your phone number because I probably won't call you, but your email, and that way I can give you some more if you want more information about it. And if you want me to, I'm getting ready to do some marketing. So I have a website. If you want me to build a website and stuff like that, and do some Google stuff, I'll sell it for $15,000, and that'll cover the whole business. I'll set up your Google My Business, the whole 9 yards. So that is definitely something that if you're looking for a beautiful rig, I think it's beautiful. I like it. I think it's amazing. That's not what the hell I wanted to do. That was the wrong button. It is a great rig. So again, you can check out that. If not, again, tomorrow is Monday. So if you're not joined Marketing Monday, definitely check out tomorrow. So if you want to go check out pressurewashhelp.com/free so you can join the marketing meeting tomorrow, you can. Oh, look at that. I got to bump that up there. You can go to pressurewashhelp.com/free. That gets you 30 days into it and everything else. So that is what I am doing. And I will also be doing a free website for somebody. I'm going to give a free website away to the members in the marketing or in my membership. So if you are joining the membership, I'm going to do a giveaway of a free website. I'm working on it right now. It's going to be kind of I'm going to do two different types of website builds. One's going to be a template build that, you can go in there and do everything you want, or I can build it for you. So that'll be the two different things. So that way you can do that. Info on the Huge, you can go check out pressurewash.com/huge. Ooh, look at that crap. And there I will be speaking on marketing. And if you put pressurewashhelp.com/huge and put the discount King, it will give you $50 off. It is a great place to go and learn about business. It's not so much the hands-on stuff. It is all about business. And that is something that you should probably look at and help you grow. And that is, getting around 1,000, 1,500 people plus of learning how to do different steps of marketing and all of that good stuff. So go check that out. If you're not in the membership, go check out pressurewashhelp.com/free. I'll put some more information about the giveaway on the website stuff, and so that way you can see that out. I'm actually working on it right now. I'm trying to get it done, and once I get it done, I will do that. So it'll be up, hopefully, I'm hoping by the end of this week. I kind of got myself in a pickle because now I got to go do that roof clean tomorrow, so that's going to be one day of me not working on it. So that's what it will be. So hope you all have a great night. Again, I'll see you tomorrow night if you want to learn more about marketing. What is today? Today is the 25th, so we will be talking about Google My Business tomorrow. I've been learning all kinds of cool things and different things about Google My Business. So tomorrow we'll be talking about Google My Business products is what I'm going to be talking about and why you need to do your products in there. So and I'll show you why the science behind it. Hope you all have a great night, and I'll talk at you later.